Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video on this lovely sunny Saturday afternoon. I was up early this morning getting some tiles and all sorts of other stuff for the house, but other than me being busy ripping up wallpaper and other things, it's a very big weekend for Newcastle United. We could not get the job done on Wednesday night, and it puts us in a place where it brings it down to the last day. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You know, had you told me back in January time that we would be in, three games of a chance of having some form of European football, I would have taken it. But that does not take away from the fact that I was gutted on Wednesday night, where we could not get the job done. The amount of chances we had, the shots on goal, the easy goals we gave away. But it's over now, and we look to Brentford on Sunday. Big away day, big up to anybody who's going down, big up to anyone who got tickets for that one. I think they've got boats planned, all sorts. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good one. Another sunny day, a big celebration, and to finish above Manchester United for the first time in however many years. And, that's the thing, a chance of Conference League football. I suppose, technically speaking, if Bournemouth go and do us a favour against Chelsea, maybe there is still a slight glimmer of hope that Europa League is there, but really it's we go, we win, and see where it takes us. And then, look, we may well be waiting until the end of the month to find out what happens in that FA Cup final, but for right now, it's get the job done this Sunday. But, as always, people aren't just looking to what happens this season, it's the summer window, with big links coming out last night, which originally kind of started, and I'll be honest, we've been linked with Aaron Ramsdale before. This isn't a new link. This is something that was done over a couple of different windows, but it seems like this time round it has got that little bit of bite. Now, I've said before that Ramsdale didn't interest me, to be honest. It's a little bit different this time, and I think, perfectly honest, what happened on Wednesday night and what's happened for a lot of the second half of this season, I think, to be honest, has maybe changed my mind a little bit, and that is, Martin Dubravka. And it's actually sad to say, because for one point in time, Martin Dubravka was quite literally, keeping Steve Bruce in a job. He was keeping Newcastle United in the Premier League for a long time. He was a standout player, saves galore. Ever since really he went on loan to Manchester United and then came back, it's just kind of not been the same. And, he's shot of confidence. I will say that straight away. It is about shot saving, but it's about everything else. Well, you could say that, even the shot saving has taken a real hit, considering that was really his key strength. Newcastle have really had shot savers, isn't it? You think of someone like a Tim Krul, or maybe even go back to a Shea Given, those kind of keepers that are just light on their toes, make the saves. Dubravka was never really great on the ball, and he's never really been great at coming out and collecting the ball either. He's been a shot stopper. But at the moment, he's been struggling to do that, and I think the Manchester United game really highlighted not just where maybe he is now, an older, he's 34, 35 now, so I know goalkeepers can play longer, but at the top level in the Premier League, I think maybe it's just his reactions have just slowed down a little bit. But confidence-wise, though, he couldn't catch the ball. He's trying to punch it, he's trying to slap it, he's trying to do everything else, because he's just not mentally, for me, was not in the right place. And it'll be interesting to see if Nick Pope does play tomorrow on Sunday, but that's why all of this is kind of circled back to Ramsdale. Anyone? You let me know your thoughts on that one down below. As I mentioned before, previously was not huge on Ramsdale, but some of the links that have been coming out of, bearing in mind Arsenal paid, what was it, 40 million? How much did they pay for Ramsdale? They paid a lot of money. The links from the Telegraph are coming out and saying Newcastle have approached with a fee of around 15 million. And it's interesting to see what happens, because are Arsenal going, you know what it is? He's not gonna get a game. Rhea's the number one. Is it better to move him out, or are they happy to let him sit in at number two? I mean, funnily enough, Ramsdale actually because that's the thing. It started off as rumours. which then started to escalate to the Telegraph reporting it, Sky Sports. Well, I don't think Sky Sports actually headlined it. I think it was various members of the Sky Sports team were kind of coming out and talking about it. Very much that Newcastle are in talks with Ramsdale and putting together an offer to Arsenal for the player. Ramsdale came out and said, "News to me," which I did actually laugh at. And at first I was like, you know what, fair play, he's not hiding away, he's letting people know what's going on. But there's no smoke without fire, and there was a lot of people saying that Newcastle were in talks. As I mentioned previously, Newcastle have been linked before. I think he's a goalkeeper that Eddie Howe seems to be keen on. It's a player that Newcastle keep kind of being linked with since the takeover. And fair enough, Ramsdale has said, "News to me." He's hardly going to come out and go, here's a photo of me and Eddie having a coffee, or I love the time bridge, time bridge. He's not going to do that. He's going to go, "Nope, not heard any of that." And even, Arsenal fans have been tweeting out saying that they've heard the same and all sorts of stuff. So yes, you let me know your thoughts on a Ramsdale. I think for 15 million to be a second choice to Nick Pope, I think isn't actually that bad. I think a lot of the reason I was not keen first time round was the price tags, talking 35, 40 million. Arsenal trying to get the money back for a goalkeeper that really I don't think is as good as Nick Pope. I mean, the thing with Nick Pope is as well, he's 32, 33, so he, again, goalkeepers can play longer. He can, in terms of football age, he can go on and play that little bit longer. Nick Pope has been a revelation. Remember when we brought him in? And I was like, but Dubravka's all right. That was me told, wasn't it? Nick Pope's been great. We've seen that we've missed him. I hope that he plays tomorrow. But first of all, if Nick Pope does get injured, then we're looking at, well, I reckon Dubravka, we're not going to let all three goals go. Karius's deal ends this year, so I think he will go regardless. There's question marks on what's going on with Dubravka, but I think if the opportunity's there to, go out and get Lloyd Kelly or Tosin to bring them in on potential freebies, that's two centre-backs. So then you've got money to take and spend. I want a striker, I want a right winger, we want certain positions. I think goalkeeper isn't necessarily priority. If Pope stays fit all season, we don't need another goalie. We'll just play Pope for everything. But that isn't the way football works. We've seen it this season, and I think, you could argue that had Nick Pope been fit this season, we would have had Europe tied up already, because it's that close, and the number of unnecessary goals that we've let in, I think, to be honest, is a position that I didn't see as priority, has now kind of starting to become that. And if there's an opportunity to bring, a Ramsdale, who was a younger goalkeeper, I would say right now probably not in form, is being, basically put to one side by Arsenal. Will he come in and be our number one? Probably not straight away. But give him a couple of years, this year, come in, fight for your position with Nick Pope. Maybe it won't be yours straight away, but the season after, Nick Pope's now 33, 34. He's had a recurring injury for his shoulder as well, which is something to really bear in mind. You can maybe start to fight your way into the team. Now, look, we'll be linked with a whole host of other goalkeepers, and a lot of which I would say that I would probably be more interested in than Ramsdale. For me, and look, it's looking from the outside in, but sometimes I wonder, I get that Ramsdale and Arsenal and it's all, and we have that in Newcastle, Trippier's very much we're fighting for each other. I don't really see that kind of fiery spark in Ramsdale. I want to be in there, I want to be first choice. I get that he wants to support his teammate on the bench, but I don't know, maybe it's the kind of person he is, and he's quite a relaxed guy. But I think for 15 million, I would probably do it. Let me know your thoughts down below on the goalkeeper predictions down below for the big game tomorrow. Obviously, if you're not subscribed, be sure to do so. Plenty of videos coming out. I will actually say a big thank you as well to my patrons and members on YouTube. Big up to you guys, helping support the channel. I am posting extra content over there. So if you're not a patron, you can actually get on there for free at the moment as well if you want to see some extra content. So the link is in the description. Go and take a look. But I thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Ramsdale, the game tomorrow. And I'll catch you later. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you later.